Hi, I'm Harald Weinkum. I want to share a little slap technique with you, and today I want to talk about a 4-note group that you should learn and eventually be able to play pretty fast. And the 4-note group is the following. First note is your right thumb hits an open string, preferably low E. That's number one. Second note will be a so-called percussive mute with your left hand. So not only will you mute the strings, but you do it in a percussive way, so you'll get a sound out of it. Okay, so we got the first two notes, thumb, mute. And with our mute, you want to make sure you're not hitting hard and holding on to the strings, because then you'll get all kinds of sounds, and you don't want to hit it and take your hand off again, because then we get all kinds of sounds. So you gotta hit your strings and immediately relax just enough to mute your strings. Okay? Doesn't matter if you do it here or here, but you gotta hit them hard and immediately relax your fingers to where you just barely touch your strings. So we got the first two notes, thumb, percussive mute, one more thumb, and then finally the last note, a pop of your high string, let's say a G, and that'll be a muted high note. So it doesn't really matter what key you're in, you just play a muted or a dead note. So we have 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And eventually we'll make a little variation where instead of our open string followed by a percussive mute, we'll actually play a note, for example a D, that's D on our A string, and instead of our mute we are hammering on another note, let's say E. So first two notes are going to be different now. Instead of open E and mute, our first two notes are going to be a note like D and hammer on. So if that's my first two notes, I'm still adding another thumb on a muted note and a pop on a muted note. So I get 4 notes now. And now we combine the earlier open note version with our second version, with the D hammer on to E, back to open note and hammer on. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be the same notes always. I can, for example, play other notes of my E minor pentatonics. So I can just go up one string and play G to A, go up a whole step, play A to B, sorry, back to G and A, back to D and A, E. I can go to my lower string, play A to B, could even play G to A, and so we can do little riffs in E minor that are like. But it's all based on our 4-note group. That's thumb, left hand, thumb again, and a muted pop. Or if I want to play actual notes, I'll play the first note, hammer on the second note, and then while changing my left hand to a mute, one more thumb, one more pop. Okay? Hi, if you liked that free lesson, go check out my CD. It's called A Bass Bolero, that has 15 of today's greatest bass players, not on the same CD but on the same track, including Victor Wooten, Steve Bailey, Gary Willis, Rocco Prestia, Jimmy Haslip, Abe Laborde, and many more. You'll love it. abassbolero.com. Bye.